Never meet your idols unless you want to be disappointed. Why is it that every time I meet somebody, my expectation of them is completely ruined? And I like to go back and think about the type of person I am and how I've been brought up. So I haven't had many good role models in my life. So I'm 24 right now. I had my mum and my dad early on in my life, but then they separated due to arguments. And then I've stayed at my grandma's house for the majority of my life, and I've had to teach myself, I've had to grow, I've had to force introspection and ideas from other people that I've respected. And something that I've realized that whenever I've gone to speak to people that are in better places than I am, then you realize that they themselves are just people. And then, it's a weird one because you sort of pedestalize people that are in these high places, like Ronaldo or Messi, if that's your inspiration, or your parents. But then you realize that they're dealing with the exact same problems that you are dealing with, and probably no better than you. They've just had more time to sort of synonymize their suffering. And it was difficult for me because I used to ask my cousin, he's older than me, he's a male, for guidance, for help. But he was struggling with his own problems as well. And I used to see, famous people all online, and they'd give all sorts of advice. And then as I've gotten older, I've realized a lot of that advice is super subjective to how they've dealt with their own life. So when I was looking for role models, when I was looking for people that would help me, and then they would have a bad day and they'll turn down on me, or they wouldn't provide me with the perspective I wanted, or they didn't have the ideas that I thought strongly synonymized the success that I wanted to see in myself, I got quite upset and quite bitter. And I got to a point in my life where I thought, nobody wants to be like me, it's my fault, I'm in this position myself, I have no role models, I can't go be successful, I don't have any mentors, there's nobody here to help me. Until I realized you can't expect yourself out of other people. You can't. Success is something that can be earned. Of course it can be earned, but it's not something that you should try and take from somebody else, their ideas, and expect it to work the way in which you want it to work. We're all dealing with our own sorts of, different demons or different troubles or inaccuracies or inadequacies, in fact. And when you try and understand somebody so that you can get into their own sort of understanding of how they deal with things so that you might copy it and become successful, it can help. But don't be disappointed or don't be upset by the fact that they're their own people. That's something that made me so bitter and so angry because I wanted to improve. I wanted to be better. I wanted to have guidance and a mentor because I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have my dad to tell me, oh son, don't buy this, or don't buy this video game, don't buy this car, don't buy this piece of technology. I had to figure it out for myself. So when I was looking around for people, I thought, when they didn't give it to me in the way I wanted, I became angry and bitter. And then I wasn't nice to them. Don't expect yourself from other people. Set an expectation for yourself. Set a standard for yourself. You can't control anyone else outside of you is something I've understood. But you can control yourself. So what does that mean if you can control yourself? What habits can you control is what I would ask myself. Make sure that I go to the gym daily as best I can. Even if it means I don't finish a workout. Do you know how many times I've gone to the gym and haven't finished a workout? I've gone there for like 20 minutes or 10 minutes even, and I've turned out maybe a bit insecure about what the staff would think about me. Still, I set a precedence for myself. Even, for example, something I've started recently as well is actually eating. Stop starving yourself is something I would tell myself. Don't starve yourself. You need to eat. Try and get at least 200 grams of protein, even if that includes some protein shakes, but try and get it through whole foods. It's so important, not only for your muscles, but for your mental well-being. Food and nutrition is crucial. Or even, for example, setting the precedent of drinking enough water. Drinking enough water is so crucial. If you don't drink water, how is your body meant to function? I've got my bottle right here. I try and drink at least 2 or 3 liters. I started to do these things because I couldn't rely on other people to try and teach me or to stay consistent enough to show me that they can help me. Don't expect yourself from other people. Pedestalize yourself and let the idols just be an add-on.